Welcome back, guys, to FACEIT TV here for more North American FACEIT League. I'm DDK. This is James and Threat. Look at the thing right down there.
Don't ever do that again.
You can follow his Twitter.
There. I just need to point.
Alright, guys.
So what game do we have?
We have more Luminosity. It's going to be Luminosity versus Nihilum again.
Again.
This time it's Inferno, and it's the choice of Luminosity, or their home map of choice.
But I feel like this is the map where Nihilum are at their worst in terms of the kind of terrorism they do on the T side.
You mean the SEMPHIS run up mid with AWP?
Yeah, exactly. But, you know, Luminosity were actually favoured in the odds in the previous match, and it's 50-50 more or less for this one. So I'm favouring Nihilum for it. How do you guys feel?
Well, yeah. Yeah.
You're right there.
Yeah. Nihilum, of course. I'm struggling to see how the 50-50 works out here, because Nihilum have improved their lineup with desi. Desi's a really good player. Of course, he's going to be new into the lineup, but I feel like this team is still kind of in a honeymoon period, actually. Nihilum, that is. So I feel like they're going to. I feel it should be convincing.
Yeah, if they can just bring half the momentum they had on Cobble, they will probably win this game.
So we're going for a resounding Nihilum victory here.
Yeah, I mean, it's still Inferno. If Luminosity starts CG, they win the pistol round, and SEMPHIS decide to just do the random mid thing with his AWP.
Random mid thing with the
I
AWP.
guess they can just shut them down and get like 13 rounds. In that way, they can actually win.
Well, yeah, I'll leave it at that. I think it's possible, but probable that Nihilum will win, in my opinion. Although, you know, if Luminosity have, almost in the way, I think one way you could compare it is when Envy play Na'Vi on Inferno. Na'Vi, one of the teams who can kind of stop the rushdown style of Envy, and maybe we can have like a North American equivalent here where LG could potentially take a W.
I think about that is that we had situations on Cobblestone where it appeared as if Luminosity couldn't really stop the rushes. Like, they couldn't use the natural choke points of the map. They couldn't use their nades well enough to have efficient fragging scenarios. So I feel like if this trend continues, then the banana takes. If it's like with 3 Ts, if Nihilum are on the T side, they're just going to be able to just batter them down and always trade efficiently as the Ts. If that's happening, then you have a huge problem, because that's not how the game should really look. As a CT side, you should be able, with heavy choke point oriented maps, you should be able to use grenades and lesser amount of players, of course, to efficiently get frags most of the time.
Yeah, win the trades.
Yeah,
basically.
Exactly. And so I'm afraid that the same trend will continue on this map. You guys suck at talking sometimes.
Well done. Tell us more. Where's the match?
I have to do all the work here.
Why is
I have a ball. It's a FACEIT stress ball. I never understood these things, because it makes me more frustrated. It's like nothing's happening.
I feel like I want more resistance from
what do you mean nothing's happening?
It's you just squeeze it.
But you mean that something is gonna happen when you squeeze it?
I don't know. It just feels pointless.
But for me, it's too easy to put so much force onto the ball, which stresses me more.
Yeah, exactly.
I want resistance. I want a challenge, but this is not challenging enough because I'm competitive. God damn it!
Now we all got stressed because of the stress ball.
That is the best transition ever.
That is why it's called a stress ball.
Yeah, exactly. You get really stressed.
People have got it all wrong. It's like, I buy the stress ball to alleviate my
stress. You need more stress.
Stress. That's how I feel with the stress ball. Okay, it's time to calm down and knife. Alright, this is
I love my knives at the moment.
Usual knife
business. I was sad when I gave away my gut knife on stream. I'm gonna just use this knife round to talk about myself, basically. So I was sad when I got rid of my gut knife.
My friend's over, mate.
Just use the regular knife, the vanilla knife. It's the best looking knife.
It really isn't.
Have you seen my tiger tooth?
Yeah, tiger tooth is nice.
Pretty.
I don't want to run around with like a lightsaber, like space cyborg sword knife. Like lasers
Omni blades.
coming out like pew pew pew.
I feel like a child now. I can't even talk. My asthma. Dan.
Did you just say dad?
Dan, as in.
Alright.
You should.
Alright. Okay, let's do this, guys. It's pistol time. On Inferno. And we do have Nihilum with, at the moment, just one player peeking in apartments and he'll spot nothing, and the rest of the team looking for the B push at the moment, or at least just a banana take. And this should be pretty straightforward, to be honest. There's 2 players at the back from Luminosity, so let's see if they can hold on. They're actually playing the Heat and Poly setup there, which is really quite fun to see on the pistol round. How well will this go for them? In come the crossfires, and they are able to trade very effectively. It's going really well, really well for Luminosity. The 3 versus 2, the bomb has not gone down there. It's too much pressure to safely plant as well. So, although that said, desi's gonna find the plant, actually. And, well, Hiko will get the kill on Peter, who was baited out by the plant attempt. And he will pick him off as well. So, great situation here. Hiko even has a smoke. There it is. That is very nice indeed.
So, LeX and pyth, what can they do? LeX had the kit, LeX is dead, pyth is also dead. That's the round for Nihilum.
Over to you.
That's how you do it. Yeah, that was just
back to
pure individual performance from Hiko that won them the round. I mean, they had a 4v2, and that's the bad thing about having the deep positions on B. Even if you get into a 4v2, you cannot escape anywhere. So they're just gonna trade you because you're reloading to a 2v2.
Just so you know, guys, the teams were switched in the HUD just to indicate who is the home team, and that causes a bug which gives Luminosity a round. Will be corrected if they win a round. But first, we'll see NAF-FLY falling to the flames of SEMPHIS.
It's going to be a quick side take. I like how you said if they win a round. I'm like, it's pretty likely that it should be when instead of if.
It's if until it's when.
It can be 16-0.
Oh! Lannisters don't send any regards there. That was just... That was a fatality.
It's the second round.
You're trying to make that a thing.
It's his thing. I'm just continuing it 'cause it's awesome.
You guys.
We have our things.
I'm just sitting here watching the map.
Like cradling yourself right now because of the asthma is unsettling. I'm unsettled by this.
Shut up. I've been practicing some really funky stuff actually with Molotovs on Inferno for a forthcoming video when I can be bothered to make it. And now I'm G2 actually. Now I've finally got the Razer Chroma Tournament Edition keyboard thing.
You can't even say it. It's like
I forget the name. Is it called the Black Widow? Yeah.
Yeah.
Why isn't it just called keyboard? Then it would be easier.
It is called keyboard.
The Razer keyboard.
That wouldn't be confusing. Like all brands. You can buy a keyboard. Which brand? It's just keyboard.
Okay, I'm done. Can't do this.
Right.
I can't do this.
Alright, well, they're actually going to run into 3 players here. Nihilum against the Ecos. So, should be pretty easy clean up. And we are going to see the flames used effectively by SEMPHIS. So that's really nice to see. Oh! Again! But this time it's Peter. And he's going to stick it to Hiko.
It's okay, Dan, because Peter has a keyboard.
What? That doesn't even make any sense.
I don't know. Yeah. I was trying.
They all have keyboards, James.
What's the worst name for a keyboard? Call it keyboard.
This is not a thing, guys. Please stop. Please stop.
Did they just win the round?
Yes, they did.
With a knife kill.
With a knife kill and no armor purchased. Pretty sick there. They were able to actually pick up a lot of guns though, just on the floor. Thanks to the madness caused by Peter, and yeah, that's a pretty ridiculous cleanup. Khalil picked up MP7 as well. They can continue to use those, and you can see like the switch or the turn on value there.
If I had a dog, I would probably call it Dog.
Not Dag.
Dag. I know a Norwegian guy called Dag.
Dog.
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 It's day.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's cute. I know a guy called Day actually, and a guy called Dag. Dog.
Dog.
Keyboard. Alright, we've got to buy from both sides now. Luminosity. Have they won a round now, right? Okay, that's a legit one now. So, Nihilum continuing the pressure on the T side. NAF-FLY will fall, causing a rotation from pyth over towards B, which will weaken the A sites. Nihilum now, what are they going to do with this advantage? Waiting for that smoke to disappear so they can get themselves a bit more real estate. Going to stop the CTs from peeking without flashbangs.
Alright, so Bomb is moving up banana with sancz there as well. He's got presence already, but the peek comes out from Anger. He's going to spot sancz. Although they don't know what's going on just yet, really. Just a bit of poking and prodding from T side. Luminosity, LeX, he's going to try to get himself into mid, but he is going to get denied completely by Hiko. So now it's going to be a 3-on-4 situation for the CTs, and Nihilum get the wrap through CT spawn. So we got an engagement in CT, and that's going to be won by SEMPHIS. So he's going to cut off the rotation, and he can also help dispatch Anger, who's on the bomb side as well. He's rejoining his teammates to make this happen. Oh, Anger gets 2 kills straight away, and the 3rd one as well. And that's going to be the round there for Luminosity. Great play there. That's a massive hold. 4 kills. Anger stands a hero.
Yeah, if he would have gone down there, considering they had a player in C to spawn, that would have been an easy round for Nihilum.
Okay, so it's 2-2. Excuse me. pyth on the AWP. Nihilum with the force, of course. Desi and valens will be sans armor. Alright, so standard play here from the CT so far. 2 towards B, 3 towards A. NAF-FLY just going to be shoulder peeking, trying to get some early information, but he's going to get D'd straight in the face from desi. That's an early disadvantage, and they'll pick up the M4 and charge onto the site. We should see a bomb plant here, as we still have 2 CTs with a very late rotation indeed. pyth taking down sancz, now just taking pot shots through the smoke here as they plant on the grill.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty good for Nihilum in this situation where they're kind of outgunned, and most of them don't even have Kevlar. Oh dear. Oh dear. Hiko in with a snap.
Blat.
He's going to grab LeX and just snap him off. So now it's a pretty strong and impossible position for Luminosity to really face against the strength of the hold here. So they need not lose any more guns, but Anger is on the site. Oh dear. Oh my god, that headshot at the desi. That was pretty unfortunate right there. So we shall see whether or not we get some more interesting rounds here from Luminosity, because that is going to hurt their economy quite heavily. They don't even have a buy here, so they could try to I don't know.
Very dangerous peek there in the pool.
Oh, they're doing it.
Versus deal there of desi. Usually they want to wait for the smoke to pop.
Doing it well.
Yeah, I didn't know whether they it feels kind of marginal to go for the force here, because the Nihilum's economy is actually not too bad.
pyth should have been able to drop a FAMAS or an M4, considering he has an AWP and Kevlar.
Hot flash coming into banana for Anger to take a peek, but Nihilum have superior positioning. Will not get flashed, and desi will find himself the frag. NAF-FLY will go down on banana as well, which will cause a rotation from various CTs.
That's kind of crazy, because Naf's teammate on B actually got picked, and then Naf ran through the smoke into a 1-on-1 against desi again. So they lost all their players there on banana. Only pyth really stands making positive trades here. If not for him, this would not be a possible round here for pyth, but it does become one now as he goes 1 and 2 with a D-Law.
He needs a sticker on the barrel. The scope.
This is just a 50-50 chance pyth has to take. He has to just guess the site, and it's actually guessing right. It's actually going to peek apart.
Ooh, gets a tag through the roof there. sancz down to 26 HP, but that's not good enough. He needs frags. He needs death. He needs to kill one of these players so he does not get traded by the other one. Oh, he's going to get the free kill onto SEMPHIS. That is really surprising there, and now he's going to pick up the M4. He should know that he tagged sancz, so... Is he going to get an easy frag?
Oh, this is beautiful.
That is absolutely amazing.
That is so beautiful, because he actually managed... They both looked at the same place when he rotated, both times. meaning that he could flank both of them both times. Although the second time, of course,
It's
there's
a
one guy left.
one-man flank and a 1v2.
Yeah, I wonder if it was if sometimes in this game you can actually like the sound can be kind of off because it looked like they actually heard him running from library towards them from the side.
Yeah, the sound can be a bit peculiar because I mean,
Why
that to me is really
yeah, he ran in mid.
bizarre.
They should have heard the footsteps.
So it's 3-3 now. It's a very back and forth game, and it kind of sucks for Luminosity being such because you want a very, very good CT economy on this map to get the nades going. We can see Peter starting to use those nades. He's going to smoke for his teammates on B, or while he's thinking about doing it. And Nihilum have apps. The apps are theirs. Uh-oh, LeX is going to go for a foray into the apps. Potentially, he's actually backing away. That's actually smart because he doesn't want to get too far ahead of his teammates and then play one-for-one trade game. That's not going to favor the CTs.
The CTs on B don't have any flashbangs, so they have no information there. Because ideally, they'd probably want to go for a pot flash. They went on the previous round to see if anyone's there and then go for the smoke, but they have to just do it raw. There's a bit of information for Luminosity, but they're forced to basically play from the site now. So Luminosity, they're lacking a lot of information here.
They're using nades very well, though, and actually, they're still favored in this situation because Nihilum are playing into their nades, and the bomb is down on the bomb side. LeX is there as well. They got really good distraction and crossfire gameplay, and Peter will get the last bullet into the back of Hiko, and that will be a very well played round by Luminosity. They actually handled that as you're supposed to. I wish we would have seen more play like that on their Cobble game.
And I hope Nihilum will eco now, because they must realize that Luminosity did have 4 survivors, but they're actually going for a very funky... No, they're going for a full force by here.
Interesting stuff, indeed. There's a single Molotov on sancz to play with. Peter's going to actually go for the B push with his AWP early into the round. So and that's the power of the AWP and being able to rotate it. It can be anywhere at the start of the round. And this time it was B, and Peter got a frag.
20 HP gone from Hiko. Gonna catch that nade in his basket. More nades coming in, Valens taking a bit of damage as well. Valens no helmet, sancz no helmet. Those will be important factors going forward if the CTs can find the angles here. They do have 2 plays still on the B bomb site as Valens starts to go for the abuse that we saw him do so well on the T side of Cobblestone, but he's going to go down first. The bomb's been spotted as well, which means a full but long rotation here from the other CTs. Anger needs to survive for as long as possible. Takes one down with him. Hiko goes down. sancz as well will follow. So desi in a 1 versus 3, and he is nowhere near the bomb. So that is an important factor because he should lose this round.
Yeah, he's not even got a lot of bullets left. If he gets a reload in afterwards, he's got 9 bullets to play with. That kind of sucks. And Peter's going to find him anyway. So very nicely done by Luminosity in the end. Again, this is much better. Like, they're actually making the necessary amount of kills. Even if they lose the bomb site, they're making enough kills that it's too hard for the Ts, or very unfavorable for the Ts. Again, something that never happened on Cobble.
I'm trying to follow Nihilum's logic with going with that force buy, because they couldn't force Luminosity to an eco, and they still could have bought P250s and still been able to buy this round. It is very surprising that they made that decision.
Yeah, it definitely negatively impacts them. And this is what we were talking about before, playing good Counter-Strike versus just trying to abuse your skill. This is something we see a lot of teams like EnVyUs made their name almost on the fact that they had so much skill. And the difference between EnVyUs and, let's say, Fnatic or TSM is that it's not like Fnatic and TSM didn't have that amount of skill that EnVyUs had to make those plays work. It's just that they felt that they would want to play more consistent Counter-Strike and play less gimmicky, basically, more consistently. And that is to get as many buy rounds as possible. So I completely agree with you.
Nihilum now finally back on the buy. You can see the Molotovs are coming into play. We'll see if they get a chance to use them or if it will be mostly gunplay here. Valens just holding down the apps at the moment. Bit of warbangs as his teammate starts to approach the stairs. And I'm curious to see if any of these mollies will go to the bedroom area. Slowly clearing out the apps, but Luminosity starting to take control of Banana now. So, of course, that will limit the options for the Nihilum side. And they will put 4 over towards B. Sorry, A, excuse me. So I do wonder though, Nihilum still have 2 players down the bottom of banana, and again, NAF-FLY, like, I think it's worth them just trying to play the trade game together, because a lot of the time you're going to have only one person over towards B when that smoke's down.
I just want to highlight that NAF went for an aggressive play with an Angel when he was completely alone at the bottom of banana. That's actually insanely risky as well. He had no support, and if they get that kill and there's players nearby, they can just take the B-bomb site straight away. That's a very risky business.
Yeah, but now there will be 2 players back on the site though. NAF only has 9 HP, so he's going to be stuck in the dark corner for the moment. SEMPHIS holding the angle while his teammates start to approach, and again, the rotation will be long from the A site. Push starting to come in now, and Anger's the one holding it down. NAF-FLY comes with a late appearance. That's going to be 3 frags going the way of Luminosity. Only SEMPHIS remaining. The bomb's been planted at least, but that's another round in the bag for Luminosity.
And very odd decision making once again for Nihilum. They pushed with good nades towards that B site, but you could actually see one guy just standing there aiming towards the dark corner instead of trying to gain ground, because every second you stand there waiting, it's 1 second a CD gets closer and CD spawn, and that getting CD spawn is probably just gonna flash through the smoke. So you really need to get up on the site, you really need to push the guys playing deep on site right away, because if you haven't gotten a kill, you just have to go up the site. You can't stand there and hope that the CTs will peek.
And I mean, now Luminosity are on full nades. They have all the monies after these round wins. Nihilum looking like they're buckling a little bit in some of these tactical decision-making spots. Pyth already putting the damage in as Nihilum try to just bully their way into middle, just brute force it all the way up. Without any nades going for the raw peaks, and they're going to get smoked off after losing a man. So they can't easily go for a refrag here. And we've got Nafi's going for the challenges, but he does have a man to support him on banana as well. So right now Nihilum are being constricted. They can't go banana. The deep control is there for Luminosity. They can't go up middle because Luminosity are still challenging it. They have apartments. All they can do now is actually just wait a little bit and try to get themselves out of there with some good flashes. And there we see them going for that kind of a play. And it is working. They have now taken away middle, but Luminosity still are 5 men. But they're running low on grenades.
Yeah, and Luminosity, they have a player on the site as well, which means they have various crossfires. Crossfire between site and pit, site and library, where there are now 2 players, where the bomb is headed on its own. If the bomb peaks library here and goes down, then things might get difficult for Nihilum, but they're going to start to move towards B with half a minute on the clock. And again, it's only NAF-FLY here, and he is surely going to get traded. There's the first player, finds himself a second one. He gets traded by Hiko, but he's done the damage here, and the CTs are already in position on B.
Oh, they're going to try to run the bomb back to A now, but it needs to be planted immediately. And there's a player on the angle as well. They can try to take him down, but he gets flashed just in the nick of time, allowing the bomb plant. 7 seconds. 5. Okay, he's going to have a couple second and a half left, and that's going to be fine for the plant. So 2 versus 2 now. Both teams very, very low. Desi is holding it down at the moment. He's really been breathing life back into this lineup in this round. These very weird situations. Desi's by Graveyard goes down. Hiko's the last man on the side. 1 HP on Hiko. 1 single point of health, and he's going to get eliminated as he jumps over the crate there. And well, it's going to be the defuse there for Peter, but that round was kind of ridiculous. Like, first of all, like Nihilum doubling back into banana when they had no idea what was there, with 30 seconds left on the clock. That's crazy. Yeah,
it's very, very dangerous. I can kind of understand the thought, because it's very unlikely that a CT will be in banana, because if he's aggressive in banana, it's likely that he would have actually made the flank at that point, I guess. But still, very, very risky, and it did cost them the round.
It's one of those, I think, telling situations. Usually, if a team wants to allow for a flank earlier in the round, they'll have that set up by having taken the control of it already. But that seemed like almost a desperation, like, oh god, guys, the A push is not working. We have to make a desperate last second call here to go for that play. And, well, anyway, we're going to see a similar round from Luminosity. They've got 1 man, it's NAF, who's pushed down in banana, and the rest of the team have put themselves towards a 2 arch and 2 quad side here for Luminosity. So Nihilum once again looking for the entries, and Hiko will deliver.
Okay, so Desi going to poke through Boiler, but get taken out, trying to look at quad and arch on his own there. And he'll get taken out from the arch player. Nice flash by Anger to allow himself to peek out. And he's going to play the bait now, although I don't know if Nihilum would have realised that there was almost a peek from mid. So that's valens down, that's the bomb down as well. SEMPHIS going to have to try and retrieve it. He'll also go down to Anger, so just Hiko versus 4 now. And Luminosity looking to have a strong CT side.
Yeah, you can really see why they chose this map, and one thing as well with Nihilum is that I think you can start to see some of the weaknesses whereby they struggle a little bit on some of the coordination and some of the executes. They're struggling there because maybe they do emphasize skill too much. Maybe that's one of the reasons why.
Yeah, it looks like they're just trying to force themselves onto the sites and try to win by just rotating back and forth.
Imposing their will, you might say.
Yeah, exactly, and it actually all comes back to the force buy they did.
Oh yeah.
Because then as soon as you do a weird buy, you lose that round, you have to eco, and all of a sudden you're just giving the CT team on Inferno a bank. And it's at that point, things just spins out of control.
Spiral out of control. So we've got bodies all over the place at the moment. Luminosity with 2 men down. Just down to, I think, Peter there with the AWP trying to hold down the B bomb site. This may cause aggression towards A as they're putting the second player towards B as well. Peter going to flash himself in and go for the shot. But he's going to miss it, unfortunately. He pulls out the Tech 9. And he'll get taken down by SEMPHIS. So, Anger's close, but he needs the support from his player, who's going for the pinch. 2 Ts on Banana, with one closer to construction, but LeX finds himself the frag onto Hiko, traded by SEMPHIS.
Yeah, that's not looking too bad here indeed for Nihilum. They're going to pick up the round finally. They can still get the 9-6, of course, it's always been possible, but their bank is such that, and after losing so many players in that round, that if they lose this one, they're gonna have to force up. They're gonna be in very unfavorable territory to take the following round. So it's either gonna be the 11-4 or the 9-6, I should think.
Yeah, it's the most likely result. We actually see a Galil here on sancz.
Oh, we've got blind CTs. Desi takes down Peter. Good punish, but there are 2 more to find if they are to take this site early. Desi, I think he was going to try and get past that smoke before it went down, try and get an unexpected frag. Unfortunately, he will be on the wrong end of NAF-FLY's gun. And Luminosity will have a man advantage for now.
Yeah, and those are 2 kills pretty much on players in the smoke as well, so yeah, definitely Nihilum trying to force things once again. Oh, that timing! Valens catching LeX out of position. That's very unlucky for LeX, and this is going to give Nihilum a chance into this one. LeX, in theory, had he not been moving, should have at least gotten 1 frag there, which would create a much harder situation for Nihilum. Put's going to come in from the back, though. He's going to get the instant frag onto Valens. Perfect angle from apartments. And all he has to do is just sit there whilst his team rotates now. And in fact, NAF is going to get the drop on Hiko, who indeed was paranoid of pushing out for the pick. And it's going to be SEMPHIS now, who moves in from quad, who could potentially save this one, but he'll go down to NAF as well. So, in a very well saved round by Luminosity. And the bomb did get planted, though. But Nihilum, having just won a round, their economy still shouldn't warrant much of a buy, I don't think. Yeah, it's going to be pretty weird. Galils and stuff.
Last round force coming in. Galils and stuff indeed. Table legs, blunt knives, spoons, all sorts on the Nihilum side. So see what they can do with it. Standard play from Luminosity again. Looks like Pit had a good spawn there. And he will use it to try and get an advantage, although he's going to get tagged straight away through the window. So, but they've got the first frag. Valens again charging with a Tech 9, but this time LeX is going to be his superior. Bomb down as well, which means the rotation can come in, including the flank. So this should be a round for Luminosity here. They've got a 2-man advantage for now. sancz trying to abuse the angles there, trying to catch somebody unawares. But he'll be limited for now. Just down to Hiko, shot in the side of the head, 11-4 it is.
And Nihilum winning the T-pistol, only getting 4 rounds. Just all in all, a very bad half for Nihilum. But they did get 4 rounds, which means if they win the CT pistol, get money control, there is still an opening back into this game. However, I would heavily favor Luminosity from this position.
Okay, well, I'm curious how Nihilum are going to play their pistol. I mean, there's lots of options, but this is one of the hardest CT pistols to play. They are going to go for the rush, of course, I suppose. This is very dangerous business, going close against the Glocks, trying to shut down the choke points. This actually can work as well. I mean, you just have to hit the shots, and if they favor themselves there, and they've already got a kill, then it can work. So SEMPHIS, ooh, nice frag there onto LeX. So this is Luminosity need a really good calling here to try to save the situation because it's so chaotic, and they're just down to 2 players now. They're trying to raid boss their way up, and Anger's going to take down SEMPHIS. To be honest, this is very doable for Luminosity. They get the fast frags here down banana, and there it is, another one. Both players tagged to 50 health each, so still not too bad on the HP, and both with Tech 9 Kevlar. So even a smoke on Anger here as he looks for desi, and he's going to find the frag as well. 2 on 2 now, and they know that they can basically play into either bomb side at this point with 45 seconds left on the clock. This is definitely looking favorable now, all of a sudden, for Luminosity.
1 per site now for Nihilum, and I was a bit worried for Luminosity as the Tech 9s did split up, but they worked it to their advantage. And sorry for Luminosity.
Around the back.
They're going around the back indeed. Hiko's going to detect things from construction. He's set himself up for the 1-taps with a 5-7, just like the A-bomb site on cash, but they're not going to go through that way. But that will mean that valens and Hiko can now team up. But will they make... Will they be the Delta Force? Will they be Chuck Norris with the missiles on the motorbike? NAF-FLY with the first frag onto valens, leaving Hiko alone versus 2. No kit either. He's got to move fast. And you can see he's looking for the trade fragger here, and there he is, a bit of pre-fire, but he finds NAF-FLY eventually. Now, just 1 more to go, trying to bait the peek there from Anger. Knows exactly where he is, but it's pretty much too late for him to take the round, unless he got a super fast frag there. Anger takes it, 12-4 to Luminosity.
And that was a 2v5 with the double raid boss.
Yeah, so cool. I was going to say, the double raid boss is so awesome.
And, I mean, even if it was 3 entry kills, if you do an aggressive play as SEMPHIS on Inferno, it's easy, you get a lot of entry kills, and then you can't really escape anywhere, so it's very easy for the terrorists to get a lot of fast trades back at you.
What do you do in that situation when you're a T, and the CTs are rushing at you, and you're not even up T slope? Like, how do you even call in a situation like that? Like a high-pressure situation?
You just have to force yourself up slope, because you need some map control, because otherwise they can just lock you down in the super tight choke point there in the slope.
So, 4th buy coming out from the CTs. CZ, 2 5.7s, a P250, and 1 guy who's already dead.
Yeah, it's a force buy that looks like it could still work for Nihilum though, because the 5.7, you can always pick up fast trades around these corners, and the pop flash, that's all it requires, and sancz picks up 1. Now, another one would be pretty nice. Oh, fluffed the flash there actually for sancz. Didn't go deep enough, but he will still find more kills. Unbelievable. 3 frags, and in from the back goes Hiko with the 5.7, and they'll pick up the force buy victory. And they survive with 3 players. Doesn't even matter if they don't pick up many weapons, but Luminosity, usually in a spot like this, you would see a force buy back into the CTs in a spot like this. You cannot let them get money control.
Yeah, they really should force buy here.
It's so funny because the spots where we're like, you must force buy, they don't force buy, and stuff like it's also like where they should never force buy, it's like they don't force buy.
Yeah, I feel like at these kind of situations, a lot of teams just don't understand them at the moment.
Yeah,
I just think there's a lack of understanding as to what the correct play is.
I mean, here obviously it's because like you get such a good opportunity, even if it's like your 35% chance to win the round with a worse buy, by not giving the economy and you're forcing them to an immediate eco, they could just win from that position.
Potentially win the game by winning this round.
And so they're giving free back to the CTs again by not having a buy at all. And we see that they have like a really horrendous set of equipment, the CTs. So if you got Tech 9 armor, you can just kill them.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that's one of the main reasons as well. If you do it before they build a bank, that's also a really good reason to actually force buy, because you know they cannot have a full set of nades, they cannot have M4s or ops on all the players, which means it's even more likely that you're gonna win, which means the risk with the force buy is even less.
But they're going for the same thing. This is very much like what Flipside do, and I've never been a huge fan of it. It's like the 2 half buys, and usually they try to play it for picks. I can actually understand the logic with Flipside because they try to play for the...
They've got the bomb down somehow. I don't know how.
There's no CTs dead though.
How have they got the bomb down? In the middle of the site?
But there were 5 CTs alive still. In the middle of the site.
I don't know. Like, they had a player in pit. I don't know how they just planted the bomb. They should never plant a bomb with that
But there were 5 of them alive still. As well. That's good.
In the middle of the site.
Someone's like on the side of like the site, just like having a cigarette and drinking a coffee or something. That's not doing their job because that shouldn't happen, and that's really weird. Because now that extra $800 makes a really big difference. We can see that Luminosity have a much more substantial set of grenades now to work with.
I can only imagine. Maybe Pit guy was looking at apps and Quad guy was in boiler, and someone just ran past because I don't know how else that happens.
Either way, we'll have to see if Nihilum can pick up early kills. It's like a desi and sancz will get kills on the early challenges down middle. And, well, this is something that that Luminosity could probably expect. The aggression from Nihilum it's always expected, I think. Should always be expected.
Yeah, and I want to go back to the not force buy thing again. Okay, because just look at the equipment here on Nihilum. This is one of the main reasons. Like, people only say, okay, we're gonna eco, we're gonna lose the round, but they don't see the opponents have a very high chance of gaining a lot of money because they won't die as many players as they would on a weapon round, and that's actually a very big deal, especially on a map like Inferno, where the smokes and molotovs are so strong.
Yeah, there's a concept that I think is cool to talk about, where let's see if Luminosity can actually pull something together here, MacGyver something together, as they do have 3 players left in position towards mid, and there's no full rotation from Nihilum yet. They left 2 players on B, and there's not even an Arch player, or even an Arch player's not even in library either at the moment. He's moving in there now, but he doesn't have a super strong pyth. We'll have to see if the Pyth can actually catch him off guard here. But we get the double spray down from SEMPHIS, so that should be lights out in this round. And one thing I just wanted to quickly say was, to add to your point, the concept of implied rounds in Quake, actually, I talked a lot about this, but as an implied frags, then you look into the future to see the likelihood of you actually being able to come much closer to having the winning objective, which is, in this case, 16 rounds. And as you say, like money control, like against CTs, if they get money control straight away, they're very favorable to have way more rounds into the future. So, yeah, implied rounds.
I don't know if that was if Peter meant that flash there. I'll come back to that in a minute. I've seen variations of that. So Hiko's in a difficult situation. He's by himself 2 headshots.
Inhuman reaction.
180 no-scope. Very nice indeed. SEMPHIS with the last bullet there, just getting anger as he peeks the corner. So this is Luminosity down to 2 people. Another smoke frag coming in. The bomb gets planted at least, so worst case scenario being ticked off. Now they need to win the round.
Yeah, the 2-on-2 has come into play. And sancz is on the AWP and SEMPHIS is on the M4 as he moves in towards pool, or tries to at least. He's getting flashed back a little bit, but there's no more nades for Luminosity or for Nihilum. They just got to go in and get the frags. Peter's going to take down sancz, and SEMPHIS will try to work his way in here, but he's running low on bullets now as well, so this shouldn't be possible with the amount of time left. Oh, nicely done though, and he might just get the last frag, but it's not going to count for much because he is going to die. They're all going to die. They're all dead. And that's another round there for Luminosity. So well played to them, despite Hiko's double kill there by Sandbags.
Peter probably did mean that flash, because Hiko does that flash as well on T slope, but he does the jumping. He throws it jumping off the windows on the left wall, which then goes over the terraced roof.
And Nihilum will actually be able to buy this round and another round, even if they lose this. So it's, even though Luminosity is up 13-8, it might actually be kind of tough, because it's going to take so many rounds to break the bank of Nihilum.
Domino effect from the round where they chose not to force. I used to love dominoes. I really did.
They're very time consuming to set up.
No, but the game, not like...
Oh. Oh yeah, I used to play that one. It's very childish, James.
It's very childish?
Yeah.
It's not childish.
It is.
Why? Because you played it as a child, it means it's childish, Dan.
Yeah.
It's like using the space knives and lightsabers in this game.
Okay, yeah.
Space knives. and lightsabers.
I admire the craftsmanship. That's a very nice pop flash, but does he get stuck on the corner of the door? And very smartly, he chooses not to continue the push, which is a nice little detail.
This is good though from Nihilum. They got 4 players here. sancz does connect the shot. It's pretty cool to see that sancz has been doing the AWPing instead of SEMPHIS actually. As sancz does seem to favor more of the passive AWPing at the moment, whereas SEMPHIS likes to be more of an aggressive, outlandish AWPer. So it seems to be working well as the dynamic goes. And they've rotated everyone back to B. They think that Luminosity are going to go back, but they're actually going into the A bomb site. So Nihilum overthinking this one, misreading the situation, and being sold down the river by Luminosity, who, unfortunately for them, cannot get the bomb down, maybe even in time, before the rotation comes in from B, back into position onto that A site. But sancz will find a shot into the back of Anger, and Luminosity should have had that round. But they couldn't kill the player in pit. Very well played to him.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, the player on pitch, I think he had cover from 2 smokes as well. So it's almost in, you get into a position as T, where you cannot really push the guy.
So Nihilum with more money in the bank. Luminosity broke. They're lacking. They're malnourished. It's a very nice fast shot from sancz. Not always easy to hit those. That nade is going to do a lot of damage to Anger. sancz knows his timing there. Looking to finish him off there with a pistol. Very smart play by him. So Luminosity with 3 players left, calling for a pause.
Yeah, I would think that it should be tactical. Or at least I would hope that that would be the case, because again, this is, they have to find a consistent answer to win against buy rounds, as Threat pointed out. Like there's just so much, there has been so much money. Can we check actually how much money there is right now? So actually they are. This is really unfortunate for Luminosity, because this is gonna be a clean round. Oh no! Yeah, this is gonna be a clean round where Nihilum, if they had done a lot of damage, they actually set themselves up to actually force ecos out. But now, especially after that knife as well, there is not gonna be an eco again for a very long time. Luminosity have to do it against buy rounds consistently, and they're not. If they're on 14 rounds or 15 rounds, it would be a little bit easier, but they can even get reset, and Nihilum is so close to actually tying it up or even taking 16 now that it's very dangerous for them to just get reset even once.
Yeah, Luminosity forced to go for the double eco, and every time you're forced to do a double eco as T, it's just terrible. Just look at this. I mean, you could go for a half buy just to pressure the economy, but actually only $1,500 left on pit, so it's...
Yeah, he's gone in on the deep end.
Yeah, that's pretty ambitious.
But for me, I think if they went for a proper eco here, they'd still have a 2-round advantage, and they can get a proper buy-out, so they could execute with nades and so on. But pit buying down to $1,500.
Yeah, it's again, it doesn't make sense, because they have, the only way they can, like, you can't pressure the economy in this situation. Nihilum just got a clean round on the board.
I wonder if it's like
with a knife kill.
I wonder if it's a miscommunication.
Yeah, I guess it is. I mean, you can justify that buy if you go for 5 Tech 9s and you have a set round with maybe a few smokes and a few flashes. But when we only have 1 guy, it just makes it so much weaker, considering you have 3 people without Kevlar.
Yeah, like with 5 Tech 9s, there's 5 chances that something can happen, whereas with the PT50s, they're much worse with the running. So, and the entire point is to be able to force CTs into weird spots and get a bomb down super fast with really fast kills as well, and the chaos. That's like what really plays to the strength of the Tech 9 and what can win you around with a Tech 9. And yeah, so it does seem like a little bit of maybe, you know, not being fully thought through potentially. Could be a desperation kind of move. They don't know what's working, and they're too afraid at 13-10 to let Nihilum get to 13-12. They're too afraid to do that. And I think that's also a case as well. I remember actually, I was thinking about this earlier. You two were talking to me before about a team in 1.6. Okay, 1.6 is a little different with the pistols, but they would even triple eco because they're so confident when it got to their buy rounds that they would just crush with the proper money.
Yeah, exactly. They did that when they were up, though. Like after the first half, if they were up 12-3 and lost the pistol, they just went for the triple eco.
That's actually very awesome, to be honest. But yeah, here we go. We got the fast play from the pistols. Can they get it done? Can they get it done? Desi's in a nice position here. Oh, he's taking them all down. And it's going to be a quick frag there from Peter with the P250. Bomber. Oh, the bomb gets tossed almost into the pit there as pit falls. So can they...
Pit falls. Very nice, Dan.
Save this.
All right, so 2 versus 4. The bomb does get planted. Not what I was expecting there in this situation, but again, Nihilum can't afford to make any mistakes, so they'll go for the safer play, go for the retake. Retake has been made. 4 players surviving. Luminosity. The buy will somewhat pay off with that lost bonus there from the plant. So now we'll see what kind of buy can be offered here by the T side and what they can do with it. We're seeing Molotovs come out, always a good sign. 3 mollies so far. Peter, of course, on the AWP. So it's time to dance or something. Mollies on the CT side as well. That's a very nice molly from Pit, which will limit the push on the car area. And indeed, with a bit of a spray down, sancz will fall to the flames. And again, a bit of I don't know why he stayed there. I guess he was looking for the picks. I think he was staying there because he can't stay there. But it didn't pay off on this occasion. Yeah,
I think he strafed a bit to the right, thinking he would actually not be hit by the fire. And then he realized he was getting hit by the fire. He had too little HP to actually walk back to the left, which forced him out to the right even more, into the angle of Pit.
Into the waiting hands.
And A just fading there. But Luminosity getting the bomb down on A, and it's a 2-on-2 situation with that bomb taken away. Valens and Hiko make their way in together, looking for the trade frag opportunities. Nice tapping there from Pit. That's what he's definitely known for. Surgical precision. Very adept with the AK. He's going to go up to try to find the next kill, and he's going to snap the head of Valens straight off, and it's going to be another round there for Luminosity. So very well done by them to find that round. And again, we saw that they were able to put a lot of pressure on and punish Nihilum's aggression with grenades, with all the grenades, because they had the money to do so. And I worry that they could get caught by Nihilum's aggression again, because that's always an answer for Nihilum. And Nihilum are in desperate economic times as well. Oh.
Well, this is fun.
Wow. Everyone has taken a moment's pause.
There we go.
And now we continue, unregardless, as if nothing happened, guys.
Okay, well that was a thing. All right, so 2 towards B, 3 towards A for the CTs, but there is a bit of a train from Luminosity deep up banana.
I wonder if they were thinking about going for a very fast play, but they might stop a bit because of the flag.
Well, they're going straight in right now onto the B-bomb site, and they're going to get both entries. So Luminosity with a strong chance to actually win this round. 4 versus 3, getting the bomb down as well. The CTs are getting quite close, but they need to get some sick frags. And, well, desi's going to kick things off. He takes down Anger straight away, as he's going to just try to wrap in and just hold down the construction choke point so the teammates can get in there much more quickly as well. This is a really key choke point held by desi. He's done a really good job here by himself, and now it's down to his teammates to help him out. He's going to lead the charge into the bomb site as he looks for the positions by Dark, and he's going to get taken down. Very nice string of frags from Luminosity, as they look like they might be able to take this one. They're on match point, and Nihilum have no money to buy.
They get a half-decent buy with 257s, but it's still going to be very, very tough. And let's see if Luminosity just keeps up the pressure here on Banana. It seemed to be working out great for them, winning 2 rounds in a row, but it looks like the bomb is actually going here towards second mid, so probably going to be a default round. Just trying to get control of first Banana and then Apartment.
Yeah, so LeX will punish desi there. Desi's actually been pushing the balcony there very often. He's done it a lot. It's actually very risky to teams with a slower pace, as they can just easily kill you. And you can't easily escape that position either, because once you get there, you're still visible on the retreat from the window, or you take a left and you go towards the apps, and if they push that, you're dead as well. So very risky place, and finally they will punish him. I think that's the first time he's actually been punished for that, so good opening there from Luminosity. Looks like they're settling on what could be a big B play. And we do have Nihilum rotating 2. Well, actually no, they're staying 2 and 2.
I think they need more people in Banana. Yeah, here we go. Only 3 people would be kind of weird, considering they have a man advantage.
Yeah, they're going to play the raw trade game, see if they can get it done and close out this match. Valens there close with the 5-7. If flash goes over, it could be perfect, but there's no flash. Valens is going to have to rely on Hiko, and he does get a triple on the spray down from the M4, and it's now Anger and Pito who move in. The last 2 remaining members of Luminosity, 2 on 3. Oh, very nicely done by Anger. eliminating Hiko, and now it's down to sancz and SEMPHIS in this 2-on-2.
Casual 3-man spray down from Hiko will give his team an opportunity to stay in this match, but that opportunity is waning bit by bit. SEMPHIS and sancz. sancz has no cover, but he gets the Molotov out. But will he be holding the angle? Going for a smoke defuse, it seems the Molotov will do the job, and SEMPHIS will find a frag. And that defuse should come in if they can find the bomb. That would be a bit embarrassing, but SEMPHIS will make it there, close to the grill.
Yeah, last 2 bullets from SEMPHIS there as well on that last kill, so key moments, key bits of time bought by that fast frag.
Luminosity is to just go for a full eco here.
But why would they do that?
Yeah. I mean, maybe, I don't know if they... Because it's 3 rounds left. You just want to have 2 rounds where you can almost go for a full buy. And I feel if they would have full eco here... Well, maybe this is actually quite okay and go for the eco the next round. It's not that bad.
Alright, well we get a quick push up mid. Nice snap there from sancz.
Nice.
And we have SEMPHIS by Graveyard, he'll deal with LeX as well. So, they're all falling very rapidly at the moment. There's only 1 left as they just try to just brute force their way up with a blinding pace. But it was instead Nihilum to be blinding Luminosity with bullets.
That's really nice spray from Hiko, because obviously he's expecting the re-peak, so he continues the spray. So the terrorist just went straight into the spray down, basically. Nice little small detail. We might have a quick pause, guys, but we should be back into the game very shortly indeed. So again, so you thought Luminosity should have gone for the eco there, but they opted for the force buy. So now they have a 2nd round loss bonus, and it's 15-13.
And this round, they really should full eco. I mean, every P250 they buy now is an HLS at the 15-14 round. Because it's very unlikely you're gonna win by buying like 3 P250s versus Nihilum ST on Inferno. So you might just buy absolutely nothing. Because that would actually increase your chances of winning the game, which should be the end goal.
So we're looking for a full Glock eco here.
Yes.
Glock train.
That's what we're looking for, the full Glock eco.
They might get a bomb plant though.
Yeah, because you can just go to A.
You mean with the Glocks, or you mean by buying P250s?
No, I mean just go to A.
Okay.
Just get the bomb plant down with 5 Nihilum
you're
players
referring
alive.
to the... Yeah, okay, I thought you meant was like if they... No, but yeah, you're referring to when that actually happened earlier.
Yeah.
That was pretty crazy. That's super weird.
I don't understand what happened. I just don't understand.
Imagine if you're on the A site, right? You're like the arch guy, and you're like, bomb has been planted. And you're like, what? What? Because who's missing like the communication there? Like,
oh, I'm sorry, I had to tell you that it was a guy with a bomb. He ran past me and the bomb.
I was finishing my cigarette. All right, so he's going for a bench push. So they have gone almost for complete full eco. So this is good. And SEMPHIS gets punished for being so deep there on the bench, and now it's going to be pretty weird. Nihilum can get a cleanish round here, if we consider desi's position, but he's actually not. He's going back to 2nd mid here, so desi might be too far away.
Hiko is forced to rotate because Nihilum don't have vision of banana anymore. Because desi's watching 2nd mid and just taking the pot shots there, leaving NAF-FLY. NAF-FLY is now dead.
Okay, so they did the full eco. They still
did have a few P250s.
Yeah,
2 or 3.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because you don't want to.
One might have paid for itself with the kill.
Yeah, but
yeah, they can still buy this round, so it basically gains. I mean, okay, sure you get the kill, yeah, the bounty bonus for the kill, I guess.
All right, so Luminosity with limited nades now to try and stop this from going to overtime. You can see advantage Nihilum as far as the nades are concerned. sancz on the AWP as well. No AWP on to Peter in this round. We've got sancz playing the rotation actually, so the AWP is kind of out of action for a while.
They're playing 3 people towards B.
Yeah, sancz just gone over there now from CT spawn. We'll see if we can get the AWP into use as Luminosity start to move through the apps and push the CTs back. But they're already playing the crossfire between site and pit.
This is a spot where Luminosity should take mid. Oh, but Peter walks in by himself. So in this spot, they would really want somebody to be on banana still, so they can know whether it's clear. If the A push isn't working out, so they can double back. But actually, of course, with the 3 guys still on B for Nihilum, only just now rotating, if they're fast, this could work out for them.
Yeah, you can see SEMPHIS is forced into an aggressive position now, so they've basically got quad and an arch hold, and they bring the 3rd player over, but Luminosity may be baiting the CTs are moving back towards the B bomb site. But there are 2 players there again, they're playing the Heaton posse back of the site. And NAF-FLY has a Molotov, which they might use for first oranges here. Or maybe they'll just carry it into the site. So let's have a look and see what's going to happen. It's going to go into the dark spot there. Hiko getting taken out, forced from his position, and Pitts will be waiting. 4 versus 3 now, SEMPHIS, sancz and desi, to try and do this for the Nihilum side.
Yeah, really sick double entries, super fast entries as well. And now it's going to be 3 players pushing in now. Anger with that off angle by Paul is very deadly, and he finds the barrel. Oh my goodness, got to be very careful here not to spray too many, but he's got the crossfire as well. This should be very, very good right now. Just SEMPHIS left alive. He will take down Anger and get another frag, but it's going to be NAF who closes it out there, and Luminosity will actually defeat Nihilum there. And it feels like Nihilum are a team that should be able to win, but they ran into a much better counter-strike from Luminosity on the CT side, I think.
Yeah, I completely agree, and just want to point out at the last round, they played 2 people deep on B in a 5v4, and they didn't get a single kill, so maybe a bit of a choke there from Nihilum's part in the end.
Yeah, the last round was like kind of weird as well, because so we saw Peter go up into banana by himself by sandbags, and he like goes for the pick in a situation, just walks out there by himself with no opportunity for a refrag, as his team has apartments and they're about to like take middle, and then just as they're about to go middle, where he just died, and I don't think he really got any information apart from that there's 2 guys on B, then they do like a full rotate into banana. I don't know why. I'm not sure. I'm trying to think why they made the call, because it looked like they had like a read or something.
I mean, sometimes you just have to guess on a map like Inferno, because it's so hard to actually have. If the CTs play defensive on Inferno, you can't gain any information. Then it's poker. You just have to guess.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, because they're not giving it. All you know is that they're playing defensive. And the CTs also have to guess. Are we going to play 2 deep on B, or are we going to play 4 guys on A? It's like saying to your opponents, okay, we're just going to play the guessing game. And you can't do anything about that, because it's the CTs who decides if they want to play that type or style.
Yeah, it definitely worked out well for Luminosity there. They got 2 really fast entries, and what can you do about that? Like, both CTs went down in B with no frags, and they went down straight away. So, well, really awesome to see Luminosity take down Nihilum, actually. It's nice to see them punishing them in some spots as well, and they will win their home map. So, any last thoughts, James? Mr.
No.
James? No? Okay. So we have Liquid versus Nihilum next. We'll be on Overpass. So we will take a moment, guys, whilst we set that one up for you, but we'll be right back.